My name's Bruce G. I'm from California, Bay Area, very close to where Diane's from. And let me tell you a little bit about myself. I got into OA 90 back in '04. I was introduced to it by a friend. I just met him 2 days earlier. And he said, I think you could be addicted to food. I don't want to go into all that detail, but he actually said that to me. And that took me back a little bit. He turned out to be my sponsor for 18 years. And then he passed away about 5, 6 years ago, and that left a big hole in my heart. I was 62 back in '04, and I was weighing 280 pounds. I'll be 83 tomorrow, and I'm weighing about 195 pounds. I think it was 195.2 the first of the month. It's been a great program for me. It has helped me, probably saved my life. And that's about all I want to say about the OA 90, although I thank my higher power for the OA 90 program every day. We're here to talk about back to basics. I was introduced to back to basics in the same program that Jerry referred to as B2B. No, excuse me. I was exposed to two-way prayer in the back to basics program that Jerry referred to. I had never been a good meditator. I found when I sat down, this is prior to two-way prayer, when I sat down and tried to meditate, my brain just went all over the place. It didn't sit still for me. It just didn't allow me to meditate. When I heard about two-way prayer, I was actually absolutely taken back. I found out a way to meditate, that I could meditate. And I'm going to tell you essentially what I do, Georgianne. You probably won't have to time me too long because I don't have that much to say, except what I do say is right from the heart. When I do my two-way prayer, I always start with a question that's bothering me, a question that I need help on, a question. And then I meditate. I sit in my chair with paper and pen like we're supposed to. I ask my question and then just listen. When something comes to my mind, I write it down. And I'm going to give you an example in a minute. And I do that for about 15 minutes. I don't do half hour or 15 minutes. I do it about 5 minutes. That's what I just said. I meditate for about 5 minutes. I write down whatever comes to me in answer to that question that I asked. And then I go back and reread what I wrote down to see if it fits the 4 categories of two-way prayer. The 4 categories are: was it loving? Was it honest? Was it unselfish? And was it pure, honest, unselfish, and loving? If it fits those categories, or mostly fit into one of those categories, I figure it comes from my higher power, and I try and do that, what I wrote down. If it's self-serving, I kind of put that one off to the side and say, no, that's not what I'm being, that's my own thoughts. That's not my higher power's thoughts. So the way I determine that, and that's part of the two-way prayer, by the way, is to determine, to go back and see if what we wrote down is loving, unselfish, honest, and pure. I'd like to give you an example of one of my two-way prayers a couple of days ago. My question was, what should I do to improve our communication? I wrote down our, and I kind of meant my, but what should I do to improve our communication? What came back to me was the following. You have to listen more carefully. When you don't hear or understand, make that known. When voices rise, be temperate. Don't react by raising your voice. Seek clarification and mutual understanding. If you must leave, return as soon as possible to reach understanding. Remember, you don't have to agree, but a decision on what to do has to be agreed upon. That's what came to me during my meditation. I went back to say, was it loving, unselfish, honest, or pure? And I felt after rereading it and rethinking that most everything on that list of things to do to improve my communication came from my higher power. So I've been working on that. Now, I kind of want to point out one thing. You know, when you get old, you usually need some hearing help. And I have a hearing aid. Where do I have to? That's my hearing aid. And my hearing aid is necessary for me to communicate mainly with my wife. Our kids are all grown. I should, but and I'm going to tell you a little bit about them in a minute. But I don't need my hearing aid to communicate with my higher power. My higher power communicates through my heart, not really through my ears. I can't remember. I skipped over one part of my story that I really should go back and mention, and that is I've been abstinent since '04 until June 1st of this year, 25. I took my 7 kids on a cruise. My wife and I took our 7 kids and their spouses on a cruise up to Alaska. And we had a great time, and we'll probably do it again. But, and I took my scale with me, my food scale. But I didn't use my food scale. I ate abstinent food. I know I feel pretty good about what my food program is. Try every day to eat what I should, weigh what I should, so I don't overeat. I find that if I don't use my scale, it's often very easy to eat too much. But because of not using my scale on my cruise, my current sponsor bounced me back to day one. And so I did have a break. But I can tell you, I've been very close. I love the program. I love being around you folks. In fact, this is a good meeting. I've not been to a meeting where there's how many are here? 56. I'm amazed at how many people I should have seen by now, but I haven't. And I'm thankful for the Zoom program that allows us to see and meet some people that we talk to on the phone regularly. I love OA 90. I'm glad I'm here, and I'm glad you're here. I love two-way prayer. It helps me meditate, and without it, I have a hard time meditating. And I don't need my hearing aid to listen to my higher power. I just need a good heart. I'm done, Georgianne. You can turn off the ticker. Thanks.